Now, the majority of ads use women and men in dehumanizing ways to help make things that are being sold more appealing. And what we often don't understand is how advertisements have influence on women and men. And in fact, as stated by Gene Kilborn, speaker, author, and writer in Killing Us Softly, the average American is exposed to 3,000 ads per day and will spend about 3 years of his or her life watching TV commercials, only commercials. And I've chosen to do extensive research on the negative influence of advertisements on men and women. And advertising is a powerful force that can manipulate men and women to behave a certain way towards each other. Today we'll be talking about the problem with ads, the cause of these problems, and the solution. Now, first off, ads cause men to look at women as mere objects and or vice versa. For example, this picture, you can see an ad for a car. And it's obviously a man and a woman, they're in bed, and the woman is not even showing her face, which is like almost the most dehumanizing thing you can do to somebody. So this is influencing, without noticing it, this is influencing men to start looking at women for only like as an object. A car, whether it be body features or like advertising a car. Ads also, they glorify the image of ads glorify the image of abused women without society realizing it, and encourages men to abuse women. Like this, as you see here, this is an ad for Avion makeup, and it's kind of the woman has a black eye, which it's a sign like it can be depicted as she got hit or something. It can be domestic abuse or whatever. And stated by Robert Vox, writer from Demand Media, wrote, "Women in particular can suffer some serious psychological blows from the subtle and pervasive effects of advertising aimed at them." So what that means is that women can also, by seeing, they can be affected kind of more than men, because they also, when women see advertisements of like beautiful women and stuff, it also encourages women to think that they have to look like that to be happy in life. And that can also lead to disorders as in like anorexia, bulimia, and pictures like this also influence men, because it's letting men know that like it's okay to do these things. Like you see it everywhere. Since you are exposed to advertisements about like 3,000 a day, and seeing this makes it more, it desensitizes people to violence without even knowing it. Now that we talked about the problem, we'll talk about the causes, and things that causes these negative effects from advertising, such as abuse and stuff, are images like this too, where you also can see a woman's body parts being used for advertising a shoe. And this not only affects women, again, it encourages men, because they see this, and it makes them also view women as just objects, as something they want, kind of in a lustful way. So when they don't get what they want, it might lead to abuse and stuff. And this is another picture by Dolce & Gabbana, and this depicts a woman being submissive to multiple men. Some would say that this is a glorified gang rape, and but since it's Dolce & Gabbana, people don't think about it, because what they're advertising is the jeans or the heels. So often things like this go unnoticed. Ads often depict women as being overpowered by men. Beth Daly and Doran Vague, Globe staff reporters, reported on 1999, February 4th, in the Boston Globe that one Brooklyn High senior has kept a daily journal describing the sexual behaviors she sees among students at the school, including one in which a group of boys stood around the sophomore in the cafeteria and forced her to bend over, hands between her legs as they taunted her. Now this incident doesn't seem any different of what we see here. It's very relatable to each other. Only this is glorified, so you think, oh, it's no harm, that you're not influenced by it. But what the hidden message that's actually being conceived within this ad is women being submissive and men being dominant. And to show you the reality, I just show you the glorified ads of makeup and stuff like this, advertising a shoe and he's touching on a woman, and this is actual life of women that have been victims of domestic abuse, and so this is a serious topic as where people see advertising, they don't think of it much, but this is actually real life happening, and it does happen to women. And lastly, the solution, there are two possible solutions to this, and one may be restricting forms of advertising, meaning developing regulators that will overlook advertising more closely, like advertisement companies and government working closer together so that they can see exactly what's being advertised. And the second one would be taxes on advertising. Since this is a negative influence on society, we should be able to tax advertisements, since like cigarette, alcohol, we tax them, and it's also a negative influence on society. Why can't we treat advertisements the same? And all this would mean is it won't be a flat out rate tax. It would mean, like, if you wanna, taxes would be higher for advertisement companies that want to advertise harmful things to our society, such as maybe fast food or cars. The taxes would be higher, and the taxes would be lower for advertisement companies that are advertising useful things to our society, such as charities or self-awareness programs. And moving on to our conclusion, today we talked about the negative influence that advertisements have on society. We talked about the problems of advertising, the causes, and the solution. And with that said, hopefully the next time you guys the audience sees an advertisement, you'll realize the truth behind it.